Welcome to Enlightened Evolution.
I'm Cay.
And I'm Christina.
We're here to discuss the ebb and flow of our soul's healing and transformation through self-reflection, choosing intentionally, honoring thyself, and following your inner guide.
Thank you for joining this safe space with us. Hello and good morning. Welcome to Enlightened Evolution with Cay and Christina. We are continuing on with our chakra series today. We're going to talk about the sacral chakra, but we are going to start off with an oracle card that Cay is pulling for us.
I'm going to do 2 oracle cards out of this deck because they're pretty short reads. I'll do one for you and one for me, and then whoever resonates with what, just take it and go with it. It's called the Sacred Symbol Oracle Deck. I got this one probably a year ago. I've found so many different oracle decks like in those little witchy stores. I've ordered them online. I've found them in other cities that I visited. I love my oracle cards.
Mm-hmm. And I will say one thing you do, like just randomly, some days you'll pull a card for me and you'll send me a picture of it and the meaning. And I absolutely love that. And I told my brother about it and I did it once for him. And he's like, that is so awesome. And so I'm like, I need to do it more often.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to have you pick blue or actually 18 or 5.
18.
18. This is water. It's a water sign.
And it's blue. I was going to pick blue. I don't know what the other option was. But
yeah. And you're a water sign. So this card, emotions, receptivity, and connection to bodies of water. Drawing this card is a symbol of connecting to your emotions regarding your question or situation. Allow yourself to be open to any changes of direction and let the element of water guide you in the right direction. Meditate with this symbol by a body of water in the bath or with a vessel of water to help keep your emotions pure and to assist you being more flexible.
I love that.
Yeah. And
especially since the sacral chakra is associated with the water element as well.
Mm-hmm. My card, I've never pulled this one out of this deck before. It's affluence. And look at that symbol. So we'll see because I've never, I don't know what this means. So wealth in all forms is available to you now. Thank you. Okay. You are rich on all accounts. Drawing this card invites you to feel the abundant flow of having all that you need on the material and spiritual planes. If you are inquiring about a situation or relationship, this certainly indicates that there is much to be experienced here. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. You are being provided for and rewarded at this time.
Okay.
Yes.
I love that.
I will definitely take that. I've reconnected with somebody from my past, and so I'll take that as a good confirmation since things have been going good so far anyways. And I've also been playing the Powerball lottery, so I'll take that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Come on, Powerball.
I know. I know. So as we mentioned in our first episode, that there's actually 114 chakras, but we're going to focus on the first 7. We've already done the root chakra. Today we're going to do the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. And I'm going to slaughter the Sanskrit name.
The Sanskrit. I know. I meant to go and look it up to see how it's pronounced. Svadhisthana, maybe?
Good job. Yes, great. It's linked to creativity, emotions, relationships, and sensuality. It's located in the lower abdomen. The sacral chakra governs your connection to yourself and others. It translates to sweetness and one's own place. It's associated with your emotional well-being, sexual energy, creativity, sense of pleasure. The chakra governs relationships, intimacy, fluidity, of emotions, encouraging expression without fear or shame. I remember earlier in the year doing multiple sacral chakra meditations because of how much shame I had just around relationships and sex and intimacy. And mm, I will say I also eat oranges every day.
Yeah.
But it was, I would say this is the chakra I've connected the most with.
I feel like this is the one I've slept on the most, and I really could use to tap into it.
Yeah. So as we've mentioned, the color is orange. It symbolizes warmth, and creativity. The element is water. How fitting you did get the water symbol. Also represents adaptability and changeability. And the physical location right below the navel, 2 inches below the belly button into the lower abdomen. The associated body parts is the reproductive organs, the kidneys, the bladder, and the lower back. Some characteristics in a balanced sacral chakra would be a free-flowing, balanced emotional state, expressing yourself artistically and in your career, so feeling very creative. Healthy, your relationships will be healthy, meaningful, and intimate connections. Your sexuality, you have a healthy sexual expression. You feel joyful and excited about connecting with your sexual partner, and you enjoy feeling pleasure without guilt and shame. Your self-worth is you have a very positive self-esteem and self-acceptance. Some imbalances of the sacral chakra, your emotional stability would be it'd be difficult in handling your emotions. You experience mood swings, impulsive angry reactions, creativity blocks, lack of inspiration, feeling uninspired. Sexual issues, shame around your sexuality, a low libido, or unhealthy sexual habits. Relationship problems where you feel like disconnected from your partner, difficulty with intimacy, some lower back pain, physical discomfort in the lower back, hips, or pelvic region. I remember for so long, my right hip, like where it connected to my pelvis, hurt for like 2 years. And when I started doing somatic exercises, I feel like I freed that block that I was having. And I have not had that pain since probably
Absolutely.
the middle of the year when I let go of like all the shame and the guilt around that.
Somatic exercises are huge, especially, tied to these chakras. And
Mm.
the one thing I love about the sacral chakra is dancing and moving your hips helps
Mm.
to kind of clear this chakra and re-energize it. Twerking,
Ooh.
twerk, baby.
Mhm.
It helps to release those pent up emotions that get stuck there in that chakra. So, I mean, for so much of college, I was like going out and dancing every weekend. And I feel like I was experiencing my sexuality and was confident in it. And I think those things are linked for sure.
Mhm. I have some ways here to heal your sacral chakra. For me, this is the most sensitive one to me. And I'm just over personalized with it, but foods to eat, orange colored foods, sweet potatoes, oranges, carrots, pumpkin, cantaloupe. Some healthy fats would be avocado, nuts, and seeds. The water based foods, cucumbers, melons, and leafy greens. Spices that align would be cinnamon and ginger. The meditation, the hertz was 417. Did you get that for this one?
Yeah.
It clears your emotional blockages, restores flow, and encourages new beginnings. I always visualize my chakra, whatever I'm focusing on, just this one would be lit up in a big orange glow. Some crystals, carnelian. I love my carnelian. Orange calcite. I don't know if I've ever seen
I
orange
love
calcite.
I don't think I have any, but I've seen it in some crystal stores. I think it's probably a little bit more expensive, and
Yeah.
maybe that's why I haven't bought it. It's so pretty. It's a
Mhm.
really nice
Yeah. Encouraging into
sunstone too.
oh,
Have you ever seen
sunset
sunstone? It's that sparkly stone.
maybe.
Do I have any behind
A
me?
moonstone was on here. I love my
I was
moonstones.
surprised that moonstone
I
was because
was too.
moonstone is also associated with your crown chakra, but okay.
Yeah. And maybe moonstone because the moon is feminine. I don't know.
And the moon rules the tides, and it's a
Yeah.
water. Mhm.
Some essential oils is lang lang, promotes sensuality and emotional healing. Jasmine increases intimacy and creativity. And sandalwood calms the emotions and fosters connections. I think a lot of things are going to overlap. I think sandalwood was on the root chakra as well.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, they kind of integrate as they go up, so some might be good for both.
Mhm.
Another thing you can do is being sure to stay hydrated to nourish your body, and um, you could take a bath, go for a swim, or sit by a flowing river.
Yeah, I love my meditative baths and I pour my Epsom salt in there, get my candles out.
There's
I
also quite a few yoga the cat cow pose, it kind of stretches that
mm,
lower belly area.
mhm.
The bound angle pose, I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one, but pigeon pose, that one I love
Yep.
doing.
I have some affirmations. I embrace my creativity and allow my emotions to flow freely. I am worthy of love, passion, and intimacy. I honor my body and treat it with respect. I express my desires freely and confidently. My relationships are harmonious and I attract positivity.
Mm. I have another one to add to that. I'm
Oh, let me
open
hear.
to experiencing joy and pleasure.
I love that. Does when you talk to Jordan about stuff like this, is he interested or is he like, I'm glad that's works for you, babe? You-
No, he's
like what?
he's definitely interested. And depending on, like, what's going on for him, he might go and
Mhm.
grab one of the crystals that correlates, and he'll like put it over his bed when he sleeps or something,
Aw,
or next to his nightstand. He gets into it.
that's sweet. I love that. I have some journaling prompts here if anyone's interested in diving deeper into your own sacral chakra. Ask yourself, what does creativity mean to me and how do I express it in my life? How do I feel about my sexuality and intimate relationships? Are there any past experiences I need healing? When was the last time I truly felt pleasure and joy in my life? How can I how can I cultivate more of this? And then I'm just curious now after knowing what you know about the sacral chakra, what past experiences have you had that may be blocking you from feeling this pleasure and this joy that you deserve? So
Absolutely.
just
And this one is tied definitely with emotional trauma and sexual trauma. If you've
mhm.
experienced either of those in the past, you may have quite a bit of work to do with this chakra. I know I have for sure.
Yeah.
And I have more I could do.
Oh my gosh, it's my favorite to work with. And I maybe it's because I'm such a creative, like sexual being and loving and passionate and affectionate and especially in my romantic relationships and I think in the past I haven't been in alignment with all my past romantic partners and especially in that way so I felt kind of like a deprivation um in that way whether it was just because we didn't I don't know share the same chemistry or just like a selfishness or like lack of confidence, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, meditating on the sacral chakra just has given me just has unlocked this ability for me to connect better with myself and others and just create like this fullness.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw there were some myths out about different chakras,
Ooh.
and this one says the myth is if I'm not creative or emotional, my sacral chakra is not healthy. And so the rebuttal to that is not everyone may express themselves through creativity or be highly emotional. However, an open sacral chakra still supports feelings of joy, connection, and ability to embrace pleasure and intimacy in all forms. So it doesn't just have to be sexual pleasure, it can be other things that you get pleasure from.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like not everything is black and white. What resonates with you may not resonate with me, and what you need and how you express yourself and what you need to feel joy is going to be different for somebody else. So I just think that we judge ourselves more than anything. And
Mhm.
it
We do.
feels yeah, it feels really nice to be very mindful of that now and to not do that as much. Like I don't hold all this weight from what other people have said to me in relation to this, like past romantic relationships, if it has to do with like shame during, around sexuality, like I don't hold that weight anymore. Like I give that back to you. I send that back to you, sir.
Yeah, that's yours to hold on to, not mine to
Mhm.
hold on to.
I think
This
another
chakra is really about empowering yourself.
yeah, another thing we didn't mention, I think that people or if you like maybe watch a lot of porn, that may be a good indication that your sacral chakra is
Is overactive.
yeah, overactive, out of alignment somehow. And there we could do a whole segment on that as well, of what that does to your brain. But when you connect with somebody, I think organically and there's like this easiness about it. I don't know, have you ever been in past relationships where that was like a big addiction on their part and it changed like maybe it seemed like it changed like the sexual chemistry or it changed how they connected with you, it wasn't as authentic?
It's never been, like, I've never known that my partner has had an issue with it.
Mhm.
I've definitely had, like, sexual imbalances and things like that, so maybe that was an issue for them and I just didn't know about it. Have you experienced that?
I have. It was let's see, how do I say it the most appropriately? So I think that the type of category or theme that they enjoyed to watch was more of like I would have to kind of play a certain role or act in a certain way in order for them to be turned on or pleased. And so
Mhm.
I wasn't expressing myself with sincere pleasure or joy, or I didn't really in appreciate the experience as much as them because I had to like put on a show for them to be satisfied. And so I think when you engage a lot in pornography, it kind of builds up like this fake fantasy of how maybe become like a little obsessive about how you want your sexual experience to be. And when you experience it, you're not really fulfilled because you have this constant vision of what you're watching other people do and they're actors.
Mhm. Now, do you in that situation, did you feel comfortable, like, letting them know that you weren't really into it, or did you not feel
I kind of
comfortable?
just played the role in that relationship. I wasn't really in a place mentally to really express myself, and I wasn't seen or heard in that relationship either. So even if I did say, hey, like this isn't really like bringing me like this doesn't really feel good or this isn't something like I'm really into, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have just been kind of a fight, and I don't even think I was conscious of the fact that I really wasn't enjoying it. I was more so focused on that person and making them feel good. So I didn't
Mhm.
take myself into consideration. So I think
Yeah.
that now, like after that was all said and done, these sacral chakra meditations really got me in tune with my body and what I needed, and just so like when I have these experiences with people now, and it's not just sexually, but anything that has to do with that category, I just feel, I don't know, I feel more aligned and at peace with it, more satisfied, I will say.
And I think that's relatable probably for a lot of our listeners. So many people are in relationships doing whatever their partner wants, and they don't even take the time to stop and think about what their needs are.
Mhm.
And if they were to sit down and say, "What are my needs to feel pleasure and joy?" They might not be able to come up with anything. So I think doing a sacral chakra meditation, if you're feeling that way of like, I don't even know what would bring me joy or what my needs are, try a sacral chakra meditation and see what comes out.
Mhm. And that was one of the affirmations. I express my desires freely and confidently, and I think that'll say a lot about your relationship and your partner if you do express yourself and they don't really seem interested in fulfilling your needs and your desires, if you've always done that for them so willingly and selflessly.
Mhm. Yeah, that'll show you. And I think sometimes people kinda know what that outcome is gonna be if they were to speak
Yeah.
up and say, "These are my needs," and they don't because they don't wanna come to terms with the fact that their partner is selfish and
Mhm.
doesn't truly care for them
Mhm.
or care about their needs.
That's really
So, it's a
hard.
hard yeah, it's a hard realization to come to because
Yeah.
that's not fun.
Definitely. Yeah, I've definitely been avoidant with things many times in my past relationships just to keep the peace or not admit to myself that, hey, I have in fact chosen somebody that doesn't value and care about me at the same
Yeah, and
capacity I do them.
a lot of times, that does lead back to us not valuing our own needs. That's
Mhm.
probably why we got into that relationship. And I know we hate to end relationships. We invest so much into them, but there comes a breaking point for all of us where you realize that, like, I can't keep doing this. And you decide to choose yourself. And I hope that you all always choose yourself.
Yes. Well, my dear, I don't have anything else to add to this. We like to thank all our viewers and listeners.
Yes. Thank you all for listening to us. Definitely make sure you like, subscribe, rate us, share us, all the things. Check out our Amazon links if you're looking to purchase some things.
Namaste.
Namaste.